Hey, what is up, guys? It is Harrison Marin, the Millennial Entrepreneur. Now, in this video, I want to talk to you guys about warming up your cold emails. So, chances are pretty good if you're watching this video, you either have a old subscriber list sitting around, or you may have acquired a new subscriber list of people that you want to do business with, right? Otherwise, I probably don't know why you'd be watching this video. So I want to teach you guys what we've done at my agency that has drastically improved people's open rates and conversion rates and new customers, because that's ultimately why you're here, right? You want to get new customers out of this entire subscriber list. So one, right off the bat, is you have to figure out how to warm them up. You can't do anything without doing that, right? So two things that you could do as your first level of entry into these people's lives, ecosystems, and ultimately becoming a part of them. So number one is you want to provide value right off the bat. There's no question asked. People don't just buy things. They want to see the value in them. So whatever you're doing, you need to go show and provide value. That could be a blog post, that could be a YouTube video. I love getting in front of the camera, but one way or another, you have to figure out how you're going to provide value to these people. And I say this because every industry is going to be different. So maybe it's a mailer, maybe it is a video, maybe it is a blog post, maybe it's a podcast. There's a variety of different ways that you can provide value to these people. Now, the second option that I mentioned as far as a point of entry is actually using these email addresses as a lookalike audience on Facebook. If you have a couple hundred email addresses, you can actually run ads to these people as a lookalike audience, and you can target all of these people. Then you could put any information you want right in front of them. This is a great way to just put some gas on a cold fire, right? It might not spark up right away, but at least it's introducing something that it really enjoys. And when you start doing that over and over and over again, people are going to begin to become accustomed to your brand. Now, these people won't know that you have their email addresses. So when you drop an email address or an email into their email inbox at some point down the road, they might have some better idea of who you are, what you do, and how you might be able to help people, right? So that's step one, is either provide value or get in front of them organically. You're paying to get in front of them, but it's not like an email blast that says like, hey, come buy my products. No, it's going to be way more gentler, and it's going to be way easier for you to get in front of those people by providing value or putting an ad right in front of those people. That's step number one. Step number two is you can't just provide one little bit of information or one little bit of value, right? These people have no idea who you are. They may have forgotten about who you are. So you have to think about what would they want to hear from you, right? So think about in your business what somebody might ask you on, let's say, a second date or second introduction, right? Maybe it's a proposal. Hey, what exactly do you do, right? This is going to be the second interaction you're having with them. You don't want to just shove your sale right down their throat. You want to just bring it nice and easy and either provide a little more value to them or show people how you do what you do and maybe give them some reasons as to why they might want to engage with you or buy from you. This is the problem right here that I see the most, is some people just go, okay, I sent my first email and provided value, let me just stuff sales down their throat. It's literally the worst way that you could do it, because they're going to do one of three things. They're probably going to hit the unsubscribe button, they're just going to delete your email, and they're probably going to get angry at you and never want to open up any of your stuff again. Either one of those three, bad. You want to keep as many people subscribed as possible. So keep adding value. Do not do anything else. If it's creating blog posts, create more blog posts. If it's creating a video, create more videos. If it's maybe a webinar is great. Hey, come on down, check out my webinar. It might help your business. This is a huge step. Provide crazy value. Not a webinar where there's a sales pitch at the end. Just a value add webinar. Hey, it's Harrison Marin. This is what we're going to be talking today. Boom, give them crazy value on that second step. The second step, in my opinion, is probably the most vital step of the entire process. If you don't give enough value on that second step, it has to be value or it has to be education. I consider education as value. You are going to have a massive flop in this whole process. Then on the third section of this process, so it could be the third email, it could be maybe the fifth or sixth or seventh email, depending on how you want to break it up and what level of value you think your customer needs. Let me tell you now, before we get to the end of the video, there is no minimum amount of value. You can only provide major value. So if you think it's not enough or you haven't really sold yourself as far as being an expert, keep providing value. Keep them in that value stage where it's just good information after good information after good information. Because when you provide good information, those people won't hit the unsubscribe and they won't hit spam. That is hugely important. Now you get to the third step and you're actually ready to sell these people. Before you sell these people, try to get them into your ecosystem organically. Don't just go in for the pitch, although I'm not against it if you provide enough value. But there's a lot of ways that you can get people to say, hey, you know what? This is a company that I want to deal with, right? So that could be a questionnaire, that could be a checklist that you're going to give away, that could be a worksheet you're going to give away, that could be a pamphlet, an ebook. Yes, those are considered value, but on the flip side of things, they are then putting in their information or clicking download. And when they do that, that shows buyer intent. That shows they have some level of interest in your product or service. That is the defining moment that you could potentially make a sale. What I would do is I would put this into a workflow, whether you're using InCharge, MailChimp, any program, any email program, and make sure that if they click that download link, they get a different series of emails than everybody else. Because if you don't do that and you just give everybody the, hey, thanks for downloading my worksheet, you're going to throw people off. So you can actually segregate it when it's coming down. You say, hey, if they click a button on here, they get this email. If they don't click that button, they're going to get a different email that just keeps providing value to them. If you don't do this, you are going to have a very difficult time selling anything. Now, if they click that link, you can then follow it up with potentially another value email or sales email. Hey, thank you so much for checking out our checklist. By the way, come down to our webinar. That webinar could be a sales webinar. That could be your first introduction into a sale. If you don't follow this step, you're going to have a bunch of angry people who don't enjoy anything that you're going to provide, which is a massive, massive problem. So think about this when you're cold emailing. You have that first step, that first phase, right? Get in front of them in the most organic way possible, whether it's an ad or just a super value email. The second part is you have to make sure you provide crazy, crazy value. It can't just be one email of like, we're the best, or like, this is how we solve your problems. It has to be full of value, because if it's not, you cannot move to the third part, right? Think about this as a submarine. You have to go from the beginning to the end, and you can't just skip the middle part. And more often than not, we see people that just, email marketing doesn't work. Cold emailing doesn't work. I don't understand why this isn't working. It's not working because you're not going through the middle stage of providing crazy value. You got to remember, some of these people either don't know who you are or have no idea what you are. And that's okay, but you have to keep providing value. And the other cool part is if you actually follow all of these steps, you can run Facebook ads or Google ads. Well, it's mainly Facebook ads, but you can run Facebook ads to each part of this whole process. So if they download the checklist, you can then appear on their phone. Hey, thank you so much for joining our checklist. And do you have any questions? Feel free, hit the comment, hit the link down below. Here's a video for you. Things that will provide crazy value to them, and get a little strategic, get a little wild with it. You could also add these people on Facebook. If you see that maybe you email a list of 1,000 people, maybe 50 of those people actually download your checklist. Find them on Instagram. You have their email address. You could just look up people by their email address or find their name. I'm sure you probably have their name with it. Find them on Instagram, or a business. Find them on Instagram. Hey, by the way, really appreciate you checking out the checklist. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Is there any value that I could provide, or do you have any questions about it? Would love to help. This is taking it to the next level. And if you follow these 3 steps, I can almost guarantee you are going to be way more successful than literally everyone else, because everybody else is just either not providing value or they're hitting you with a sale immediately, which is the wrong way to do it. There are so many ways that you can provide value from the first stage all the way up to that asking for the sale that people just don't do. And 9 times out of 10, they fail over and over and over again because they didn't provide any value. They didn't introduce people who they were. Nobody has any idea why they should buy from them. They just say, hey, I have all these services and products. I'd love for you to buy them. No, that's not the way you're going to make sales. You cannot do that. People just don't buy like that. You have to provide value. It's like buying a car. You don't just go to the lot and say, that's the one I want. No, you test drive it. Even if it's your dream car, you're still going to test drive it before you take it off the lot. Same thing. You want to feel the experience. You want to know what it's about. You want to know what's included in the car, what's not included in the car. These are all vital steps of providing value before you actually ask for the close. So it's kind of a 3-part system. You have the first part, warming them up and just getting in front of them initially. The second part, which is keep providing value. If you don't think that you provided enough value, or have one of your friends jump on that email list and say, hey, do you think there's a lot of value in this? And if they say yes, then you might be safe to send another one. But if they say no, I don't really quite understand what you're doing based on your emails, Keep adding more value. And then after you've done that, you've gone through phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 is finally when you can ask for the sale. And ultimately, that's where the money is. But you have to go through the first 2 phases, because if you don't, you have then lost a customer. They will hit that unsubscribe button, that little spam button. You'll be labeled as spam. It's just a bad catastrophe if you don't go through the first 2 phases. So I hope this video helps. I keep seeing a lot about it. I really think that this is the solution that we provide, and it works really, really well. Like, kind of freakishly well. But you have to make sure you provide enough value, because if you don't, you're going to lose that email address forever. So I hope you guys found value in this. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, little notification bell, join my free Facebook group. Would love to hang out with you. I'll see you guys later.